You know, if there's one thing the world probably has enough of, it's superhero media. Films, TV shows, endless merchandise. The last 15 years have been a superhero explosion in Hollywood, so why aren't we flooded with superhero MMOs? We had City of Heroes in 2004, and then the standalone expansion City of Villains, but they both shut down in 2012, so what happened to the superhero MMO? Both DC and Marvel make about a more $1 billion per year, and even though we've got DC Universe Online, that's not really the best they could possibly do, so why haven't either of these studios invested in a good online game? Well, City of Heroes, the first name on most people's minds when you say superhero MMO, was made by Cryptic Studios. It was in fact the first thing Cryptic ever made. Champions Online is a lot of good choices stacked together in a rather awkward way. There are many fun things to do here, but they feel very separate instead of cohesive. It's not actually a bad game, but it can feel like a bad gameplay experience as a whole because of its pacing and presentation. It's made a lot of good decisions, which pains me to say that it's bad. There's a decent opening section, but it's ruined with terrible pacing and apparently being 3 opening sections stacked together. There are lots of tutorials, but they're delivered through videos and not gameplay, and the early game team-up mechanics are simple, but new players will feel so underpowered in these you're more of a hindrance than a support. Uninspired level design, standalone systems not taking advantage of the others, and a slog of very lonely early game grinding, but within that there's humour, heart, and a community who clearly love it and are remarkably supportive. But the game's biggest flaw might not even be its own fault. I think we're all just a bit bored of superhero stuff by now. We've been flooded with superhero stuff for years. It's gone from fresh and interesting to cliche and ironic to meta, and now it's just normal. Background. Champions Online is still alive, but it's losing its strength, and eventually, inevitably, it will have to pass on the superhero mantle to someone else. Maybe they'll take it, build on it, and make it even better, in the same way that Champions Online took City of Heroes and made that better. It's like it's passing the torch forward, making it stronger every time. But its best days are definitely behind it. It's now something people look back on and say, that used to be good, I wonder what will come next. So, with that in mind, I'll award Champions Online All Might out of 10.